What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. Sorry, it's been a few weeks, a few days, I don't know, whatever, since I last posted a video doing some stuff on the car, but I have the garage situated. We're on the GoPro if you can't tell, so you can probably see most of it anyway. Got the beamer up on stands, and we're going to do the last few final touches to getting this thing ready. I kind of rushed it a little bit last time to go to the wet pad with the boys. Carted well, but a few things I needed to fix, so that was a good shakedown to learn that before Hampton and doing club circuit. So one of the things I need to do is I have no coolant temp sensor gauge at the moment. I got the factory one in there, but it's not working, and because I'm lazy and I think it'll be cool, we're going to put in an aftermarket temp sensor. So I need to drop the coolant, put the adapter in here and the sensor, run some wiring through the cabin, and yeah, get it working. Another thing is I really averagely welded up these, put more axle boot clearance. My axle boots have been rubbing, so we'll do a bit of a side-by-side comparison, but yeah, made these, hopefully that'll fix that. And lastly, extended toe brackets from Drift Tech, or yeah, I don't know, but yeah, gonna put these in so I get better rear alignment. So yeah, got this car up and whip the wheels off and we'll jump straight into it. So the first thing we're going to look at is the toe brackets, because it's basically the easiest. Like I was saying before, this is just like an extended toe bracket. It gives you more adjustment on the rear, so you can get a bit of toe in, which is what you want for drifting. You want a couple mil toe in, just to help the car drive straight and have more grip. So put these in, and we'll pull out my old ones and I'll show you what I had to do to get the toe in the rear of this thing, since it's so low. So if we go up in here, some loosey-loosey. One OEM toe bracket. I just dropped the shock bolt just to give myself a bit more room down here. Be careful you don't cross thread or strip these, because they're very weak and they often do it. You can see my bit of a jank setup where I've had to cut the OEM toe bracket and put two washers on one side and all that kind of shit. It's not very good. But anyway, those bolts are 18s, so blaze them off, take this toe bracket off, and we'll look at our new one. So here we have the bracket side by side, so you can see it's the OEM bracket. I ground that off and used the die grinder very averagely to make these holes a bit bigger, a bit like this. So this piece is a lot thicker than the OEM one, but also where the bush mounts to, you can see there's like quite a lot of wasted space on the OEM bracket here. This is a lot skinnier, so I don't know if these are going to fit anymore, but I don't think it's really going to matter because the bush can't go anywhere anyway. But this should also give us more room in the pocket, because the pocket, what you're adjusting, only has so much room in there anyway, and this limits you. So with this and this being a bit skinnier, we should be able to get the alignment within the spec. Sorry I didn't video pulling it out because it was a bit of a nightmare, but you can see right here, this is the arm out of the car, and these are the modified ones. So right here, it has been rubbing on the axle boot. So basically all I've done to these arms is cut them and then weld them a bit flatter through here to give it a bit of clearance for the boot. So yeah, I'm gonna put this side in and then get that side out, get that side in, put everything back together in the rear end, and wrap up the front. Well, I filmed absolutely none of that, but yeah, that sucked. So sorry, but it's all done. So I'm going to show you why I did it. If you get up in here, you might just be able to see up in there, it's all notched out now for the boot. Before, like I was showing when the arms were on the ground, the boot was rubbing. So even if this isn't completely compressed, it should all move together as one. But there should be no way that with the axle CV flexing and stuff like that, it should touch that. So hopefully it'll save the boots, save me blowing axles and dry CVs and stuff all the time. So worth it, but yeah, it was a mission to do in place. So if you're building one of these, do this mod before you something. So the last thing I'm going to do today is put my coolant temp sensor in. So I just drained the coolant, went to the toilet, down there. I just want to pull off this top hose, which is right here. Then cut it, put my temp sensor in, this guy here, and yeah, that's it really. Run the wires and stuff tomorrow because it's getting a bit late. I need to shut the garage, but the car's kind of just hanging out past the point of where I can't shut the door, so I'll quickly put this in so I don't need it on jack stand tomorrow, run the wires, set it all up, run the car up, and make sure that everything works. So I'll put this in real quick and then we'll carry this video on tomorrow. Sorry, it's getting a bit dark in here now, boys, but got the sensor in, hose cut, got all my stuff on. I'm just going to pick up the coolant, which is down there, and slap him back in here, crack this nipple off. This is a bleed nipple for those who don't know, and start bleeding this up. And then tomorrow, like I said, we will run the wires and make the gauge work. Welcome back. It's been a couple of days since the last clip. I had an absolute mare. The wiring was too short, but anyway, I extended it, runs under here, threw it into the cabin. I ended up finding some power off the ignition, which is 12 volts, so wired my gauge to that, and obviously plugged my sensor in and my gauge, so it lights up and stuff like that, but I'll show you that in a minute. Then I was putting the coolant in, and I was just going to try and bleed it up quickly before, so you guys could see temp gauge working and the bleed bolt for the top of the radiator sheared off, so I ended up having to take this out, take it to work, drill and tap it, and I've got a new bolt and a couple options for crush washers. This bolt is steel, so hopefully it won't shear the head off. Hopefully it seals because I tested it, but yeah, put these in, test them out, and fingers crossed it all works. I think I got lucky, and my crush washer and my bolt are doing the job that they should. Water was flowing out of there good, still a little bit of water in here. So basically now we start her up, make sure our heater's on, and let this thing get to operating temperature. You can already see that our temperature is starting to go up already. Car's been running for maybe a minute or so. You can also see that the water's starting to circulate because it's
pushing some of the coolant that I put in first up to the top through the water, so it's a good sign, means it's pushing the air bubbles out, which is what we want. So yeah, I'm just gonna watch this now, wait for it to get warm, and hope she doesn't overheat or do anything strange. So I got my cap on now. I just popped this bleed nipple quickly again just to make sure that water was flowing. It did take a wee while for it to let an air bubble out. Once it was pissing out again, I just nipped it back up. My bottom hose starting to get nice and warm, almost comparative to the top hose. And my temp gauge is sitting around 70 degrees, so far so good. Don't quite have a heater yet, but might just be a bit of air bubbles in there, so sit on the accelerator a little bit, just try to push it through. Car's got up the temp, nice and hot. Fans just come on, fans just come off, which is good, means that the fan is working. So fan comes on at around 95 and it must shut off again at 90-ish degrees. So it's good. Car's pretty much lit up now. We know fan comes on, we know thermostat's open, so this is pretty much safe to drive. I'm going to shut it off now, and I'll just wait till the car cools down. So next time I'm out here, I'll just pop the cap off the radiator and top up whatever it's lost. So that's going to be basically it for this video. Sorry I missed a lot of stuff, but yeah, I'm in a mad rush. We have 29 days now till first drift event. So now that this is done, we got the arms and stuff in the back. We need to go get an alignment, so we'll go get an alignment. And then I think myself and my old man are actually going to paint this car in the garage here. So I'll need to sheet some stuff up, mask this up, and get it all ready for paint, so that way we're good to go in 28 days for my first ever proper drift event. So we're getting there, boys.